Well, hey there. Welcome to another 5 things you might have forgotten about Minecraft 1.14. Now, for those of you that don't know, that's being released on Tuesday, on April 23rd, 2019. So if you're watching this video in the future, it's already released. But I'm getting so excited because it's getting really close. I just wish I had time to take off of work next week so that I could fully explore 1.14 and do a bunch of videos right off the gate. But today, we're going to look at bamboo forests as number 1. This is an amazing alternate to the jungle. Like, I love the jungle biomes. It's got nice bright greens, and it's got these huge trees with branching off little things. And it's just an amazing biome. But it's often overgrown. Let's take a quick peek. Yeah. Like if you wanted to live and build in that jungle right there, you've got so many of those little shrubs to take out. You've got you got to take out some trees. There's no way to just walk over there and start. But the bamboo forests, not only do they look amazing and interesting, but they also have pandas, naturally spawned. Gotta love that. But they also have the podzol, which from, my mega taiga biome, which is my favorite biome, definitely adds a nice little contrast of color against the bright, vibrant greens and all the vines, and it looks amazing. But it also means that you can build in a jungle, and all you have to do... So if I go into survival, the best way in survival to get rid of these bamboo shoots is with the sword. Think of it as an explorer going through a jungle with a machete. That's how I remember it. Because in survival, well, I guess the diamond axe is almost as quick, but you can see it takes just a split second longer. You can actually see the breaking animation, but with the sword, instant. Now you're actually able to build in the jungle biome, clear out a bunch of bamboo, which, by the way, if you didn't know, bamboo is actually a decent fuel. So to get one piece, it looked like it took 5 bamboo. But this stuff actually regrows. You can plant it, and it's going to regrow. And you can actually place it as high as you want, just like iron bars. Except without the whole connectivity next to each other. You could kind of make it like a little bamboo prison. Oh, let me out. Well, I can get out, but you get what I'm saying. It would actually trap a panda. It would trap it might trap cows. Alright, so anyway, that's number 1. And number 2. Bamboo as a fuel source is my number 2 on the list today. Because it grows insanely fast. Like, it grows ridiculously fast. It's easy to plant. You knock down one of these shoots, and let me see if I can catch a good glimpse of that. Yeah, it just kind of like dominoes up the stalk, and I hit it. And I think they did the domino up the stack like that so that it would help with lag, because all of those blocks updating on the same tick gets laggy. All right, thing number 3 also might help with the bamboo. Thing number 3 that they changed for 1.14 is now TNT blocks drop 100% of the blocks that they disrupt. So every block that the TNT actually hits, you pick up. This is freaking amazing for all sorts of mining possibilities. See, I even got the button back. Now, who would have thought that? Alright, so I have lined TNT going down quite a ways. And I'm going to show you exactly how many blocks this picks up. So let's hit the button. Go into spectator. That's just friggin' enjoyable to watch. Alright, so looking down, you can see every one of the blocks got kept, including the andesite, the cobble. Where's some granite? There's some granite, the coal, the experience as well. And yeah, there's more coal. So TNT, actually pretty useful. So we have some iron ore, we have some lapis lazuli, and we have a TNT and a button. Or a fire arrow would also work. But as you can see, 100% dropped. Some of it, unfortunately, dropped into the lava, but it still dropped. It does not negate the point. I don't know what you're talking about. So number 4 today is going to be composter. This little block is... I'm kind of torn on it, to be honest with you. It's a new workstation for the villagers. If you put it next to a villager that doesn't have a job, he'll become a farmer, which is super useful. They do spawn in villages now, and you can take organic material, like a pumpkin, or let's say kelp, and use them to fill this up. And once it's all the way full, and it does that white top right there, you get a piece of bone meal. And it can be automated. Hoppers will actually pull from the bottom. The type of plant you use actually determines how quickly this fills up. It can raise levels, I believe, 8 times. And as you can see, a pumpkin does it a whole lot faster than a piece of kelp does. You can... let me grab a dirt block again. If I were to do this and put a dispenser right there, fill it up with pumpkins, and then put a lever there. So we have 4 bone meal in there. Now after doing this a couple of times, we should end up with more. Oh, maybe not. Alright, scratch that. If we put a dropper facing down into the composter, fill it all up with pumpkins, stick a lever on there or a redstone clock. Oh, you just heard the sound effect. Now we have 5 bone meal. So this could be hooked up to a redstone clock with a farm feeding it pumpkins or sugarcane or whatever else you wanted. Any organic material. And you've got a pretty useful bone meal farm. Pretty simple to set up. Low cost. You're probably still better off with a large mob farm that's going to get you like a huge amount of bones. But this is also an early game option, or an automatable passive option that doesn't lag the server. You know, depending on the redstone clock you use anyway. Definitely want to make sure you think about that part when you're setting that up. And number 5. Number 5 today is kind of a two-parter. We got some new flowers. We've got a Wither Rose that actually damages players and entities of all types. It's only obtainable through spawning a Wither boss, having it kill an entity, like a cow or a pig or a chicken, and where that entity died, Wither Rose will appear. So it's not easy to obtain. But, that being said, there's a lot of possibilities for this to be useful for mob farms, to be useful for pranking or traps. There's a whole lot of uses for it. And we also have a new flower called the cornflower. Nice pretty blue flower. We have Lily of the Valley. I really like that. That's one of the more unique. It's kind of like a white variant to the swamp flower that we all know and love. So there's the 3 new flowers, but they've also changed all the dyes. So if I search dye, now cocoa beans, you can't use cocoa beans as dye anymore, but you can turn them into brown dye. Lapis lazuli, you used to be using that for your dyes. Now you have to turn it into blue dye. All right, and as a side note, the cornflower can be turned into blue dye, so you no longer need to use lapis lazuli unless you absolutely want to. The white dye, stick the Lily of the Valley up there, get white dye, so you don't have to use bone meal anymore. Although bone meal is a pretty easy, it may actually be easier to get bone meal from a mob farm or from using the composter to get the white dye than it would be to make a flower farm for Lily of the Valley. Especially since it's a good looking flower, I actually want to use it. But as you can see, the recipes require dyes now. Squid ink no longer works. The dye does work. Alright, I think that's it for this episode of 5 things you may have forgotten. And I hope you guys are excited as I am about Tuesday, April 23rd's 1.14 release. Hopefully it happens, but if not, we still have the pre-releases to play in. And over this upcoming weekend, make sure you're playing those pre-releases and reporting any bugs you find, so that Mojang can do what they do best and squash those bugs. They don't know about them unless we tell them, right? So, I guess until next episode, I hope everyone has a great night.